Today on the Pro-Life Podcast, the DNC is rewriting the levels of crazy they will display to us all. We need to talk about this. Let's get started. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I'm not sure after these stories. I'm just to be happy. I'm trying to find a silver lining here. Hi. Welcome to the table. Pull up a chair. Grab your coffee. You're going to need it.
Get ready for chaos.
Oh.
A lot of it.
Let's just introduce ourselves and get into this.
If you insist. Kim Schwartz, Director of Media and Communication.
Bailey Barton, Director of Development Operations.
Klingerman, IT Director. Okay, as we joked before we started, newsflash, Democratic Party crazy. Not particularly a new headline, but they really are pushing the boundaries of what we define as crazy.
It's pretty...
Again, we think, here's the line. They finally have, that's their crazy limit. No, but wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm. They're all about breaking those ceilings. And it's mostly the crazy ceiling, which is not one that you want to break, but that's what they're going for. So last week at the Democratic National Convention, in the first 2 days, Planned Parenthood parked a bus outside of the convention center to give away free abortions and vasectomies for 2 days. And that's already pretty shocking. I think that there's so many angles that you could take this. One is their former rhetoric about abortion should be safe, legal, and rare is very, 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 very gone.
So gone.
Yeah. Now it's abortion should be celebrated. We're going to come back to that because I have like a huge beef with that.
Don't we all?
Yes. And so they're giving away their free medication abortions on this bus outside of the Democratic National Convention, and it really shows how committed they are to abortion, celebrating abortion. And in fact, there were 35 children killed because of this publicity stunt by Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm. And what was that, just abortion pills?
Yeah, abortion pills separated over 2 days, the first 2 days of the convention. There were 10 children killed on one day and 25 children killed on another day.
That is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So they just parked this van outside of this convention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they support it? Like, it's just like a demonstration of their support for it?
Yeah, so, like,
I'm trying to understand.
They tweeted ahead of time. Yeah, they're just like, this is how much we believe in abortion, that everyone should have abortions, and that it should be so commonplace that even you go to your big old convention and you have your abortion right there. Like, why not? So that's really their message there. And so they were taking appointments online. I believe all the appointments were booked like kind of immediately because the Planned Parenthood affiliate tweeted it out before the convention even started. And they're like, hey, book your appointment here. And they were all filled up like pretty darn quickly. I want to say immediately, but you know, you can't always trust what Planned Parenthood says. Shocker.
Yeah. I'm skimming the article here on our website again. I guess I missed this, that the mix of advocacy meant some rally goers carried Palestinian flags while others dressed up as abortion pills.
They did do that. It was a protest that you would remember. Sure.
I understand going to Comic Palooza as Spider-Man. I do not understand going to a political party convention as an abortion pill.
Right.
Or anywhere as an abortion pill.
Yeah. This sounds like a cult.
It screams red flag for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to believe that I know that there are sane Democrats out there that don't like this. Like, this is very extreme. It really is showing you that they are way more extreme than Donald Trump is being.
Oh, yeah.
When you think about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Donald Trump is really out there. But they are just using like abortion pills. Pills that you take to end the life of the fetus growing inside of you. They are celebrating that by dressing up like the pill.
Okay.
Look, guys,
so,
I'm getting older, and I like Advil, but that doesn't mean I'm going to dress up like one, all right?
hey, have you ever thought about it, though, and then gone to a pro-Palestinian march and just see what
Literally,
happens?
no.
Okay.
No, never even crossed my mind to ever dress up like an ibuprofen,
Oh, man. You got to get
no matter
more
how much
creative.
of it I've had to take.
Shoot. You got to be more creative, Brent.
I guess.
And like kind of back to what I was saying in response to what we saw at the RNC, which was a lot of, not as strong pro-life stances we would have wanted as pro-lifers.
Weak sauce.
Their response at the DNC has been so as if the RNC, we were saying we're gonna do a national ban and we're gonna legalize these pills. Nope, we're not hearing that at all.
No.
I don't even know what they're reacting to at this point. I guess they're just still reacting to all of the pro-life victories that have happened over the past couple of years, but
Yeah, it's
there's not the same extreme on the other side.
No, it's not an even match where the DNC is like doubling down, like making this their whole personality. And the RNC is just like, meh, okay, you states, like whatever, y'all do something weird, like totally just going to drop this issue. They did keep, I'm going to give the RNC a little bit of credit. They did keep abortion in the platform and just said something about like, we believe in the sanctity of human life.
Sure.
And they were like,
That's
yeah, you states can do something about it.
Bare minimum statement.
It was real weak sauce, but it was there. So I will give them like half a credit there.
Mm-hmm.
But DNC is like, I don't want to say like, if there's something more than doubling down, that's what they're doing. And you saw that in all of the speakers that they brought on stage. Like pretty much everybody mentioned abortion at some point. But you could see this from some of the like individual kind of speakers that they chose, especially whenever it's time for all the states to say like, we nominate Kamala Harris, and they're so excited about it, even though nobody in the party voted for her. But anyways, so whenever it was time for Texas to be like, we nominate Kamala Harris, I don't even like saying those words.
I really am just bothered that you said that.
I know. I gotta go like wash my mouth out or something after this. I don't know. Anyways, so whatever Texas was like, we are nominating Kamala Harris. They brought Cecile Richards, former president of Planned Parenthood, who is also the daughter of Ann Richards, the former governor of Texas. So it's like real Texas, but Planned Parenthood, meh. And she was like, hey, I'm proud to introduce this Texas heroine, Kate Cox. And that might sound familiar to you because she was the woman last December who sued the state of Texas to abort her preborn child because her daughter had a disability. And this was a really big case. The media was saying, like, this is threatening her life, and she would, like, never be able to have children again if she continued this pregnancy, so she has to have an abortion. That was not the case, and at least not according to the court documents. So we covered that. You can go read about that at texasrighttolife.com. But basically, this was her saying that we need to abort my child because she has a disability. And Texas was like, no, we do not discriminate on people with disabilities. Like, that is wrong. So she went out of state to have an abortion. Okay. So now, Kate Cox, she's at the DNC.
Right.
And she's like, hey, abortion, what did she say? She said, abortion bans are not pro-family, and it is not pro-life to make women suffer and die, which, like, okay, we agree with that. That's why we actually have an address for that in our laws. But then, here's the super ironic part. She was like, because I had my abortion, I'm pregnant again with my next child, and the entire room cheered. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, y'all would cheer also if this woman went out into the parking lot and aborted that child, because that's literally what 25, 35 other women have done, and y'all are, like, high-fiving them. So you cannot say, like, yay, I'm so glad that you're pregnant, congratulations on this new life, but then say, like, but if you want to kill that life, you're totally fine, go for it. And there was just so much cognitive dissonance in that room.
They're cheering for the because of abortion part. So,
True.
The child is irrelevant in their conversation.
Yeah.
So,
And it's sad. It's such a slippery slope for them. As soon as she decides that, I'm saying she, anybody in this situation decides, well, actually, I don't want to have this baby for whatever reason, the whole room would cheer, like y'all said. It's just up to you, I guess, if your child matters.
Yeah.
And we all know, based on history, how dangerous that is for us to just decide who matters and who doesn't matter. When we all know that the truth is that we were made in God's image, every single one of us. Mm-hmm. And we all matter. We all have a right to life, to live.
Boom, preach. And we can see, too, like, the deadly consequences of that cognitive dissonance and that belief, you know, that it's like, maybe this life doesn't matter to me. Maybe it's all up to the parents if their child matters or not. And we see a ripple effect in the rest of society whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to bring up that. Did you hear what Joe Biden said?
No.
He spoke at like 11:30 at night or something
Oh
crazy
my
like that.
God.
Once everybody had gone to bed,
Yeah,
we'll
and-
trot Sleepy Joe out.
He said something about like he misspoke and said something about women losing their electricity.
What?
I didn't find it.
Oh, yes. I did see that. He was trying to say electoral power and
Yes.
women lose their electricity.
I know.
Wow.
I did lose my electricity in Beryl, so that's it, but I got it back. Don't worry, Joe Biden.
Okay. All right. Well,
So funny.
That's a more fun note to transition on. Than wow.
As long as we still have our electricity, we're fine.
We're good.
Yeah.
Us women, all we need is electricity.
I gotta tell you, I don't want to be without it.
Good night, everybody.
Bring Joe Biden back in here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that party just finds you crazy all the time.
Well,
All
also,
right.
I read that Kamala was wearing a coconut-colored suit.
Are you
I don't know.
serious?
I don't know if this is verified.
Talking about a color?
Well, I don't know, but if y'all saw her suit, it was like it's like a brown. It wasn't quite khaki.
Oh,
It was coconut.
what?
If y'all
I
remember
love
why.
these conspiracies.
I don't know this one. Wait, what?
Wait,
Well-
did you just fall out of a coconut tree, Brent?
Oh.
I'm
You
sorry.
exist within the context.
Sorry, I don't think
Of
of the right
everything?
terms of Kamala quotes because they make my brain hurt.
Yeah. Well,
I just read that she was wearing a tech. I don't know if this is for sure the truth, but I just read that her official suit color was coconut.
oh my gosh. These are the conspiracies you come to this podcast for.
I'm old enough that when somebody mentions coconuts, you got two halves of coconut, you bang them together. Like,
No. Nope. The rest of us, we fell out of the coconut tree.
Yeah.
Right.
you're right. Sure.
But you know about AI, which is 2 letters. And you know about the cloud, which
Which apparently up there is where we're
You
throwing
just-
all our files.
you
these
just see
days.
your data up there.
Floating around.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad when it rains. Oh man, we gotta change topics, you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Break, ready, go. Do you have a cell phone? Do you have pro-life values? Do you like saving money? Well, Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, and they've partnered with Texas Right to Life. So if you'll go to patriotmobile.com/Texas Right to Life or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, and use the checkout code TRTL, they'll give you a free month of service. So make the switch today, have your money support causes you believe in, and save and get a whole free month. Make the switch right now. What are you doing still watching this? Make the switch right now.
This just in. Democrat leaders convinced Biden he already stepped down yesterday. Meanwhile, the party whose abortion position is endorsed by North Korea, Harvey Weinstein, and the Church of Satan says we're on the right side of history. If you want to meet the guy behind hilarious headlines like these, come to our 27th annual Life Gala in Houston on September 28th featuring CEO of the Babylon Bee, Seth Dillon. Supporting Texas Right to Life at the Life Gala is a great way to make an impact and give hope to moms and babies in need. Join us in Houston as we honor God for all that He's done this year. But seats are filling up fast, so make sure you click the link in our description to get your tickets today. We hope to see you on September 28th.
Welcome back, friends. I hope to see you at the Life Gala. It's going to be an awesome time. Seth Dillon is great. We love the bee. It's getting harder and harder for them to write satire because the world feels like it's always satire. But it's going to be a great night. So look forward to seeing you there. Yeah. All right. I am not thrilled about discussing this at all.
Do you want a silver lining before we go into the sad story?
Yes, okay. I do.
Because
yes, this makes me sad, so yes.
Okay, so I forgot to mention the good side, the positive upshot from the crazy Planned Parenthood bus outside of the DNC. So pro-lifers actually responded to this, and they got pro-life sidewalk advocates to go stand outside of the bus and do regular sidewalk counseling that you would normally see outside of any abortion clinic, including this creepy mobile abortion clinic. And so there were pro-life sidewalk advocates out there. There was a pro-life diaper company, Every Life. We've talked about them before.
Yeah.
And they were giving out free diapers outside of there to, it's like, yes, we support moms, even those who are standing outside of the DNC. And it's like, okay, we're going to reach out to you too, because we believe everybody has the right to life. So good on them for actually responding to this quickly and ministering to the moms. And we need to make sure that we're praying for the conversion of those 35 women who had the abortions at the DNC, because there is a lot of regret and a lot of heartbreak that comes after an abortion. And so just praying that that God will reach their hearts through somebody in the pro-life movement, and just let them know of His mercy and His grace. For sure.
And Every Life is a really great diaper company. They did not sponsor this video, but we have to give them a shout out because they are doing great work. They their proceeds or their profit they give to pregnancy resource centers, and they are one of the only diaper companies, because you'd be really surprised. Many diaper companies support Planned Parenthood or support abortion, which is very strange and dark. But this company does not do that. And apparently they have really great diapers.
Yeah.
So check them out.
Definitely. Okay, now we can do the sad story.
Blind man sponsoring
it's
weed killer.
It's very weird.
Yeah, not about it.
I can't think of the exact brands on top of my head, but it's the well-known brands. You'd be really surprised that where their money goes.
Yeah. Toys R Us. Sorry, tangent. Toys R Us learned that lesson because they donated to Planned Parenthood, and then population is decreasing. They go out of business. They also could not compete with Amazon. So it's like, all right,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Toys R Us
went under.
Donated to Planned Parenthood. They went under. So, well, don't do that.
Okay. Speaking of things not to do. I hate that there have been 2 of these stories since last we recorded. So we'll start with the first one that's on our website. Newborn found dead in a garbage truck. After dumping the garbage can into the truck, worker went to repack the trash to make space, and when he discovered the newborn at the bottom of the trash pile,
That is so sad. Nope.
And then just a few days later, we have, second time of the week, a newborn found in a ditch in front of an industrial concrete plant, dead in the ditch. So this is 2 in about a week in the Houston area. And this is, 5 or 6 of these stories in the last few months in Texas. I think the church faces a issue we haven't had to face in a couple of thousand years.
Yeah.
Of just discarded children. Now, when I saw this on the news, they were talking about, this being the second time in about a week they're reporting a story like this. I don't know if I'm jaded or just frustrated with the media or just the state of the culture now, but I found it interesting that they seemed disturbed reporting these two stories in close proximity of time, where just take these pills, flush, don't look.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally okay, safe, normal, legal. Well, not legal in here, but
Right.
should be legal,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they say.
Yeah.
They're not bothered by that.
No.
If this child had been put into medical waste disposal,
Right. Totally fine.
that's just normal operating procedure, I guess.
Yeah.
But in a ditch, and everybody is upset. Both are terrible. Both are tragic.
Mm-hmm. You're upset with the people who say only one is tragic. Both are tragic.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm upset at both the story that these things are happening. There's some work for the church to do to make women aware of other options to go to pregnancy resource centers. There's a lot of them in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them in Texas.
Go to a fire station or a hospital or a police station. Like, you know where those things are too.
Yes.
And there's no questions asked. You just walk up and you can place your child, like, entrust your child with them.
The Baby Moses Law is a thing.
And it seems like, and of course, we can't know this for sure, but just from observing our country and the way that we approach pregnancy, the way that we talk about children, the way we talk about fetuses, infants, babies, all different stages, the early stages of development, I worry that we have taught generation upon generation that these little small people really are not equal to us, that you can make decisions like that. And I think it manifests itself in really sad ways like that. Don't get me wrong, I don't know that woman's story. I have no idea what she even thinks about abortion.
Yeah.
But I just can't help but feel like this has to be fallout from lying for generations to women, making it seem like having a baby is a choice or not a choice once you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, once you are pregnant, like that baby, their life has begun, and they are one of a kind, and they'll never happen again. So
Yeah, I think you're right. There's just this big fear that's been instilled in women about pregnancy and motherhood. And so then the response is like act out of fear, whether that's killing the child in the womb. And you see that in a lot of women. Like if you remember the testimony from one of the students at University of Houston in response to that satanic abortion statue, she said like it was fear that motivated her. And so she like went to Colorado as quickly as she could to have the abortion. And then after it was over, the gravity of that decision hit her. And she was just saying that this was her greatest sadness and regret. And like, again, it just comes out of fear. And I imagine that's what these mothers who abandon their children in the dumpster and in the ditch, the trash garbage truck one, I want to delve a little bit deeper in that because there's a lot of mystery surrounding that. So the mother says that she gave birth at home, like it sounded like it was kind of like a surprise birth, not like I'm planning my home birth kind of thing, but just like she found herself in labor suddenly. She passed out after, like during labor or after labor, and then whenever she woke up, the child was deceased on the floor. And so we don't know, like there's so many possibilities there, and all of them are horrible. And so we don't know, did the mom try to abort the child and the child was born like dead? Was the child just naturally a stillborn? Was the child born alive, but because she passed out, then like who knows how long that child was left alone or something happened. So we don't know if the mom like had anything to do with the death of the child. Police can't really tell either because the child was in a garbage truck and had already been so mangled by everything there. And so, like, there's not really anything that they can tell at this point. And so the mom panicked and thought she was going to be, like, charged with murder or something like that. And so she threw the child's body in the trash, and then you have this garbage truck situation. So we really don't know what happened to that child. We know that there's this terrible loss of life. We know that this is a horrible way for that child to end up, even if this was a natural death. Yeah, and we know that mom is probably facing her own heartbreak too.
And I think also, but what we do know too is that there has to be something terribly wrong. Something is off when you find a baby where they found this baby. Regardless of what happened, we all know, human to human, we all know within, like, deep within us, like, even if you're not a believer in Christ, like, we know that you're not supposed to put a body in the trash. Because we know that it is supposed to be treated with dignity and respect. So whether there was, like, an ends for fear or if it was done intentionally, we don't know, but we know that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, when we have a society that has been told it's clump of cells, children are an inconvenience. I mean, that's how everybody acts. It's like kids are an inconvenience, and they'll mess with your career and your life plans and stuff. It's a woman's choice, safe, rare, and legal, whatever that nonsense is. We have devalued life for years, and that.
Yeah.
What did we think was going to happen from that?
Yeah.
It's that, well, I had an abortion, so now I'm pregnant again. Yay! What?
Right.
That one wasn't important. This one is, until mom doesn't want it. This is where you end up with infanticide laws.
Yeah.
And people who are bothered by 2 children being discarded in a week in a city and not bothered by children. Now, I don't know this reporter or what her personal beliefs are. Maybe she is pro-life. I don't know. But just the contrast of
We don't
their
see
usual reporting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We don't see any media outrage, posted outside of Planned Parenthood clinics or anything like that.
Yeah.
Knowing that they have a room designated to put together body parts after an abortion is performed. We know that they have trafficked these body parts across state lines. We know all the different things that they have done with babies' remains. And our culture, our mainstream culture, does not react like this.
Yeah.
They don't react the same way that they react when there's a born child, a fresh out of the womb child in the trash. And as pro-lifers, I think we see it. We're like, this is so inconsistent. But there is something that magical happens for them once the baby comes out of the womb, and
The magic of the birth canal.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I don't understand the perspective.
Well, and tack on top of all the other cultural things we've seen. So recently now, pregnancy centers they're scamming women. They're fake abortion clinics. They're trying to trick women. So we should trust them, and don't trust police.
Oh, yeah.
'cause they're all bad and out to get you too. So there's no options for, like, if there's a baby Moses law, well, but yeah,
Don't
can't
trust
those guys. And there's pregnancy centers, but don't trust those guys. And then you get these situations, and I'm just waiting for there to be some more, and I'm going to be like, waiting for public outcry that we have to do something about this, but don't trust that option or any of these other choices that exist, like not throwing a child in the trash. Seems like a real basic option. So, we got to have abortion.
Yeah.
Because that's your solution. I don't know how many of these stories, I don't know how often this happens. Like, I would have to go look for police reports and things. I feel like if this happens, it's going to be in the news.
Right.
Even before Roe v. Wade's overturned, even before heartbeat laws in Texas, that it would have been in the news. So I don't know if like it's in the news more because we want to talk about it more, because we have an agenda, or because it is actually happening more, because women are in these desperate situations and they've been made to feel like there are no options.
Yeah, it's a mess. There's not really a silver lining anywhere here. I can tell you that Texas now has a second safe haven baby box. The first one was in Abilene, installed earlier this year, and the second one is in Lubbock, installed about a month ago. Yeah, there's a sad part of the story. I guess I'll say it since we're here.
Might as well.
They installed the baby box. Like a day or two later, another child was abandoned just in the trash. So, like, yes, we have the resources there. We have to let people know about them. Then, like, just talk about it. That's why, like, we publish about this stuff as often as possible. And I feel so bad. Shout out to our new team member, Ashlyn. She's the one who has been writing about these stories. And I feel so bad asking her every time there's been 2 of these in a week. And I'm like, this is making me cry just reading it. I'm so sorry that you had to research it and write about it, because it's really terrible.
Y'all pray for Ashlyn.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad situation, but you know, it really serves the purpose. And I think whenever we're talking about like the messages that come out of Texas Right to Life, something that's a big priority for me and our department in the communications side is making sure that when people come across something from Texas Right to Life, that they know the presence of Christ and they know that there's hope there. And so my prayer every time that we publish one of these terrible articles, or the story of maybe a post-abortive woman, or something hopeful like a child who was born super premature and survived, that the moms who are facing those situations will find hope. And so again, like my prayer in like publishing like a podcast like this and articles like those, that maybe one day a mom who is facing that situation and might have otherwise thrown her child in a dumpster will, you know, find hope and know like there is something else that she can do. And she can hold on to the baby Moses law and bring the child to a safe haven baby box or a fire station or the police, or go to a pregnancy center for help, or just reach out to her church or community and know that there is something else. So that's our mission. That's what we keep doing, even whenever it's really, really sad. Yeah.
So I always say at the end of these things, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't talk about why it's important to share these things. We want to get that information out. But also, when you share that stuff, this has happened to my wife a couple of times this year. You get that reputation as being that pro-life person, which comes with some ridicule online and stuff, and maybe the occasional apologetics argument. But more importantly, it comes with when people know someone who's in a situation, I'll go to because they'll know, and my wife has gotten this. She'll know what to do.
Praise the
She'll know
Lord.
how to help. Yeah. And we find the resources and we get them connected to the pregnancy centers and whatever it is they need, the counseling and whatever else. So you can like, heart, share, subscribe, whatever, and maybe you feel like, well, I can't share that because my friends will think I'm that wacko. Well,
you are that wacko. Just
you're watching this, so you're probably almost there anyway. If you go ahead and throw it all out there that, hey, if you're in a spot or one of your loved ones is in a situation, I do know how to help. And I'll help them get the proper kind of help, not some pills that got trafficked across a border or
in a bus
shipped
outside
from India, or
in a bus outside the DNC.
in a bus outside. Come get in my creepy van, kids.
Right.
Didn't we warn children in the 90s not to get drugs out of a van, and now
It didn't work.
Bring those commercials back.
Yeah.
And also, on that note, we have to realize that a lot of these decisions to have abortions, decisions to abandon your child, happen in isolation. Whenever people isolate themselves, or they feel like they don't know somebody that might talk them out of it. So I think always just keep that in mind when we hear these stories. Of course, it's like really easy to be like, how could someone do that? And that is a good response to have. But I think also, as believers, our hearts should just break because of like these decisions don't just happen. Like people really do feel isolated and like they have no choice. They convince themselves that they're doing what they need to do. And we need, like you said, we need to be sharing this. We need to be talking about these things so the people around you know that you're going to be there for them and know that you're going to protect them and their unborn children.
Yeah. And if you believe in that mission, which if you're still watching at this point, I imagine you do, please chip in to Texas Right to Life, because it's so important to reach out and share this message. And, we have like all the foot soldiers who like you who are sharing this content, but we have to produce more of it. We're getting slammed by Planned Parenthood. They have so much money to keep putting stuff out there, but we have to fight back, and we have the power of Christ on our side. And so we're going to win, but the more people who participate, even if it's $5, like it makes a difference. So links below.
Yep. Well, friends, thanks for making it this far into the video. Share, talk to your friends. Links below. Pitch in $5 when you can. We definitely appreciate it. It costs money to keep these lights on. It costs money to go to the Capitol and protect that pregnancy center funding. So, thanks for watching, friends. We'll see you in 2 weeks.